me. And I was like, oh my God. So that was really awesome.
Yeah, are you, yeah, happy hands. Oh my gosh.
It's a great way to save time.
And that was live Facebook. Oh my gosh. So bad. All right, guys, let's get started. So we're picking up where we left off last week. And what we're doing is we are creating a study guide for your playbook to become a millionaire real estate agent. If I handed you a copy of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and said, read it cover to cover, are you going to get value? Say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I'm reading through this, and remember, I'm not the smartest person in the room, seldom. So it took me probably 20 times reading this, not an exaggeration, for me to have the aha that why don't I create a study guide? Based on if I'm handing this book to someone for the first time, I'm telling them, here's how to read the book in order to build a successful real estate career. Mission statement for Keller Williams Realty: to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning. How can I read this book in order to do that? So we're on day 3 of creating that study guide. So first of all, let's review. Day 1, focusing on mindset because mindset is 90% of success. If you're going to build a 100-story building, you start with a foundation. Mindset is foundational. So we're going to start with mindset. And there's 3 sections that we shared for you to read. Think Powered by a Big Why, pages 72 through 77. I'm going to go through this quick because this is the 3rd time I've done this, and I'm moving quickly so we can get to today's content. Oh my gosh, tongue twister. Number 2, think big goals and big models, pages 78 through 80. And then think possibilities, pages 81 through 84. Now, day 2, section 2, part 2 is Millionaire Real Estate Agent Principles. The 6 myth understandings between you and high achievement, pages 47 through 63. So we're going to get rid of all of these myths that are standing between us and massive success. Number 2, the 4 stages of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Model. Actually, if we're tracking each one of these steps, this is step number 5. The 4 stages of the MREA model, pages 65 through 70. And the last thing we spoke about on Friday was the 80-20 rule, pages 97 through 98. Okay, today we are going to talk about leads, listings, and leverage. This is the 4th item on the principal conversation, and your reading assignment is pages 99 through 107. You guys remember when you were in college or when you were in high school and the teacher would give you reading assignments? That was your homework. Did any of you actually go home and read that? Clarissa, your son said no.
I always tell them,
for the record.
they can't come and get this high school diploma back.
Oh, it's a good thing, right?
I know. I don't know how I made it.
Fake it till you make it. Here's what we're doing. We're doing the same thing. So it might shock you to know my degree is in education. So if every so often I show up like a teacher, well, there you go. I'm a teacher. And here's the thing. If you did the homework in high school, what was the best case scenario? Say get an A on the test. When you do the homework in Millionaire Real Estate Agent assignment, best case scenario is you gross $1 million, you net $1 million, you receive $1 million, you give away $1 million. Now, Aaron, are you going to read it? Yes. All right. So today we are going to talk about leads, listings, leverage. Reading assignment is page 99 through 107. And if you look at your book, you'll see this in many different places. So leads, listings, leverage. Think $1 million, earn $1 million, net $1 million, receive $1 million, give away $1 million. You won't see this because this has been added. And this is a foundational model of the millionaire real estate agent. And page 99, here's what Gary has to say. Nothing, I love the way he talks, nothing. He didn't say most things. He didn't say some things. He said nothing is more important to your sales career than prospective buyers and sellers. You know, curious for those of you who have passed your real estate test recently. When you were in school to get your real estate license, at any point did they tell you nothing is more important to your sales career than prospective buyers and sellers? I see lots of heads doing this. They didn't tell you that. And most of you got your real estate license, woke up the next morning and opened the door and looked for a line of buyers and sellers. Yes or yes? And holy cow, where were they? Right? To have a viable business, you simply must have client leads. To have a business that pays you a lot of money, you will need a lot of leads. Duh. Going down halfway through the page, what you have to embrace is the fact that it is the number of qualified leads you have that will either grow your business, keep you in business, or put you out of business. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a warning here. Don't let the word qualified leads cause you to judge away opportunity. I believe that all leads are good leads. The difference between a good lead and a bad lead is simply follow up. Jason Abrams would say there is no such thing as a bad lead, just bad real estate agents who don't follow up. Now, in order to find buyers and sellers who are ready, willing, and able to buy a home in the next 30 days, I'm going to need lots of leads in order to have buyers and sellers who are ready, willing, and able to buy and ready, willing, and able to sell right now. If I were to define a quality lead, that would be my definition. However, that doesn't mean someone who's not ready to buy or sell until 6 months from now is not a good lead. Still a good lead. Follow up, because 6 months from now, are you going to be listing homes? Say yes. A year from now, are you going to be listing homes? Yes. That's why when I was doing open houses and somebody would come into the open house and say, I'm just looking, you know, I'm not going to buy until maybe a year from now. My response to that was, with the sign-in sheet in my hand, was awesome. I'm going to be selling homes a year from now. Please go ahead and sign in for me. I need your name, address, email, phone number, because I'm selling homes a year from now. I'm building relationships. I'm looking for opportunity, period, not necessarily opportunity right now. All right. Now, bottom of the page, if I told you there was an out-of-town buyer who just got in this morning and who will be paying cash and needs to purchase a home by the end of the week, there's an out-of-town buyer. They're coming into town today. Aaron, they're paying cash. They're going to buy a home. Would any of you be able to help them? Everyone. Everybody in the room and everybody on Zoom. There's 22 on Zoom and 15 in the room. So 37 of you would be able to help them. All right, cool. By the way, Gary said everyone who raised his hand, he's a prophet. On the following page, he goes on to say, I can guarantee you there is a buyer getting in town today who has cash and needs to buy a house. Guarantee it. The problem is we don't know where or who this buyer is. And this is the leads challenge of the real estate business. In a prosperous market, there are usually many agents relying on passive lead generators, casual referrals, and luck to create business. It's called lead receiving. Unfortunately, real estate agents who are in the business of lead receiving may find themselves selling very few houses when the market shifts. What are you doing to find new buyers and sellers every day? What is your standard? What is work? Work is 20 conversations, not 19, not 18, not 17, because if I have 17 conversations, I didn't have the 18th conversation, which means I didn't get $1 million listing. And the worst part about it is I don't know I didn't get the listing because I didn't have the conversation. Simple enough. By the way, that's always work. I will never get to a point, regardless of how busy I get, where that's not the definition of work. It's my number one job. All right. Now, the second thing that I want you to focus on today. Now, remember the reading assignment, guys, holy cow, it's 99 through 107. And I shared a page and not even a page of information with you. Please go in and read this, take notes, highlight. You know, the purpose of this exercise is for you to create a model that you can follow, that you can implement in order to build a successful real estate business. This is the yellow brick road of real estate. The yellow brick road always goes to Oz. It never goes anywhere else. It's just that simple. All right, part 3, the 4 models of the MREA. And economic model, pages 129 through 132. Now, Gary says, think of your economic model as a formula that describes the way your business works. It is your equation for success. Essentially, the economic model describes the relationship between a series of activities and the specific outcomes they produce. The path is in the math. Every real estate business is a math equation. Now, the way they share the economic model, bless you, the way they share the economic model in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent on page 133 is starting with appointments and ending with net income. Now, the way I'm going to share it with you is actually starting with net income and ending with appointments. So whereas the book shares the end result is net income, I'm going to share the end result is appointments. In other words, how many appointments do I need to go on in order to earn the amount of money that I want to earn? And if your goal is $100,000 net income, then that's where you're going to begin, beginning with the end in line. Now we're going to add cost of sales and expenses. And at Keller Williams Realty Coral Springs, your cost of sale is $16,000. My expenses, if I'm following the model of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent with $100,000 net, should be no more than 10% or $10,000. Which means my gross income is $126,000 in order to earn $100,000 net. You guys following?
Yeah.
We're good? If my average commission check is $8,000, 126,000 divided by 8. I'm looking for at all of you because one of you is going to hit your calculator and give me an answer.
15,750.
126,000 divided by 8,000. Yeah, you know, words matter. I said divided by 8. I did. So we're going to round up. That's 16 sales. And I have a seller side of my business. Can't spell and write at the same time. And I have a buyer side of my business. If my business is 50-50, then I am closing 8 seller listings. Yes or yes?
Yeah.
Right. Now, 8 divided by 0.75. 0.75. So 11 listings taken. The reason we divide it by 0.75, by the way, is because that's the model. Gary Keller shares in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent that over time, good markets and bad markets, over time, 75% of the listings you take will go to the closing table, right? Today's market, close to 100%, and use 75% as your number. So that means I'm going to take 11 listings in order to sell 8. Now, if my conversion ratio from a listing appointment to a listing taken is 75%. In other words, 75% of the time I go on a listing appointment, I take the listing, then I'm going to need to go on 11 divided by 0.75. 15 appointments. 75%. So I'm going to go on 15 seller appointments, which is approximately 1.2 a month. I'm going to go on 15 seller listing appointments in order to take 11 seller listings in order to close 8. Now, the buyer side of my business should be, is driven by the seller side of my business. In other words, for every listing that I take, I should get at least one qualified buyer who's going to buy a home eventually. So my buyer side number should look very similar to my seller side. And just for the sake of time, let's say they're exact, which means end result of the buyer side is I've got 15 buyer appointments. That's 15 appointments with buyers to do a buyer consultation. And I've got 15 seller listing appointments, a total of 30 appointments, approximately 2.5 per month. Yes? Yes. So there's the end result of the economic model. How we doing? Good? So if you came to me and you said, John, you know, I've been a real estate agent for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, and no one's ever shown me what I need to do in order to earn the amount of money that I want to earn. Pretty common. I hear that a lot. I would go to page 131 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and I would say, let's talk about the economic model. Back in 2002, when I went to the team leader in Palm Harbor, Florida, and said, I need you to show me how to earn $200,000 a year in order to replace my corporate job that I just lost because I was fired. He pulled out this book and went to page 131 and said, let's look at the economic model, and said, John, here's what you need to do. And my response was, cool, I could do that. Big focus and big energy leads to success. Now, if you don't know where you're going, can you have big focus? No. If I'm driving from here to Tampa with my eyes closed, how's that going to do? No. Not so good, right? Maybe that's what the Dolphins did. I don't know. You knew I was going to get that in there somewhere, guys, right? Sorry. You still love me, right? If you don't, that's okay. All right. Diane's unaffected. Like, I don't care. All right, lead generation model, pages 133 to 151. I want you to pay attention to something. The economic model Gary shares in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent from pages 129 to 132. The lead generation model 133 to 151. What's your first aha? There's a lot more information. Do you think there might be a reason for that? It's not a coincidence. It's because it's the most important thing you're ever going to do, ever. Nothing will ever be more important than this. So pages 133 through 151, and I'm just going to share a little bit of information from the book, and then we're going to talk. We'll recap before we do. Top of the page, once you know how many appointments you must have, in other words, once you've done the economic model, and the end result of the economic model is how many appointments I need to go on. Once I've discovered how many appointments I need, you now have to generate the leads necessary to generate those appointments. You can never have enough good leads. And just like the end result of the economic model is how many appointments you need to go on in order to net the amount of money you want to earn, the end result of the lead generation model is how many leads are you going to need in order to go on those appointments. Laura.
Are you talking monthly? The appointments of 15 appointments? Weekly?
That's for the year.
Oh, that's for the year. Okay, that's what I needed.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's for the year.
Okay.
So a total of 30 appointments for the year, buyer side and seller side total, or roughly 2.2 a month.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Now, what are you thinking when you hear that? Is that realistic? Yeah. Yeah. It's actually kind of simple, isn't it? Success is simple, right there by Rocky's right hand. Success is simple, not easy. The model's simple. You actually got to show up and do the work, not always easy. All right, now Gary goes on to talk about the positioning battle, and I just want to point out a couple things on this, and then we're going to recap for the day. The human mind is an inadequate, there we go, container. The basic idea they share, he's talking about a book that was written, The Battle for Your Mind, is that under the constant bombardment of advertising and marketing, the human mind becomes saturated by brands and can only hold a finite number at any one time. They share that the number for products that are advertised like a brand of potato chips or soda is 7. It's much lower for me. And if that's true, how many real estate agents can the average consumer think of when you ask them, do you know a good real estate agent? I'm going to tell you it's 1 or 2. It's no more than 2. So your job is to be 1, or your job is to be 2. And in order to learn how to apply this information to building a successful real estate business through lead generation, study pages 133 through 152. All right, recap. So today we talked about step 7 on our path to $1 million, leads, listings, and leverage. We talked about the economic model, pages 129 to 132. Leads, listings, leverage, by the way, was pages 199 through 107. The economic model, pages 129 through 132, and lead generation model, pages 133 through 151. So 3 days into this exercise, and you have created a foundation to build a successful real estate business. You are through the work to learn phase. Now it's time to get into the work to earn phase. You've created great mindset. You've studied how principles affect your success in real estate, and you're 2 models into the 4 models of the millionaire real estate agent. The 4 models are the economic model, the lead generation model, the organizational model, and the budget model. We'll pick up on the organizational model and the budget model tomorrow, and share your ahas. Talk to me. If you're on Zoom, there's 25 of you now, so please raise your digital hand. And if you're in the room, talk to me. Vicky.
Success is simple. I'm going to repeat what you repeat to us. Progress, not perfection. Just do it. Always lead with gratitude. Focus on getting a referral. Reject rejection and follow up forever.
So this is the mic, right? Mic drop. You did it. Thank you for that, Vicky. I love it. Tara Carter, talk to us.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tara.
And I was just gonna say, follow the model.
Follow the
Literally,
model.
just follow the model.
I mean, it's the yellow brick road, right, Tara? If you're going to go to Oz, just follow the yellow brick road.
Follow, 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 follow.
Oh, I thought you were going to sing for us.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Nice job, Tara. All right. Yes, Diane.
John, you used to, during COVID, you actually taught this, these models through special workshops, I remember, like on Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon. And just for anyone who's new, it's very overwhelming to learn right off the bat, but the repetitive, just listening to John and attending these classes and listening, it clicks. And then once you're out there doing it, it fits in, it makes so much more sense. So I just want you to know, like a little FYI for anyone who's new, is like, oh my God, this is a lot. But that's the thing, no one teaches it better than John, the models.
Diane, I appreciate that. Thank you. You're awesome. So Brian brought up a point here in the chat. I'm thinking we should also add the percentage to our broker, productivity coach, and so on. So let me slow down for a moment and explain how this works. Cost of sales is the money that goes to your broker. It's the money that goes to Keller Williams Realty International for franchise fees. It's the money that goes to your productivity coach. The cost of sale is anything that's directly related to the sale of a product or a service, as compared to an operating expense like rent and payroll. You have those expenses, marketing, you have those expenses whether or not you sell a property or not. By the way, taxes are a part of those expenses, and you factor that in as well. If you want to figure net income after taxes, then you're just going to add whatever amount you pay in taxes to your expenses. It's not going to be 10% anymore. So whatever it is, it is. But it is in there. I just went through this pretty quickly. But Brian, thank you for bringing that up. All right. Anybody else? What'd you hear? Ahas, questions? Talk to me.
The only thing I'd say, and you said it, and Gary says, is don't reinvent the wheel. You know, you already have the recipe book. You know what you need to do. Just do the work.
Sorry, Larry. I'm sorry. Aaron, would you do me a great big favor? Yeah. Power cord before I dump everybody on Zoom. My battery is low. Sorry. All right, talk to us.
No, all I was saying is what Gary says, what you've said, what we've all said is you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You know, in the MRE book at the very beginning, he talks about that. You know, you don't need to go look for a new way of doing things. Just follow the book, adapt it to your environment, and move forward. Don't overthink it. And I think that's what a lot of us, no matter the age, whether you're old or new or what have you, we tend to overthink it. We tend to think, oh gosh, I've got to put my spin on it, and you really don't. You really
Yeah.
don't.
No, it's true. It's a good point. It's also true that we question validity